Have you ever dived into a reef and felt like you were stepping into a living painting? Imagine vibrant corals, schools of fish dancing in the currents, and those iconic spiky sea urchins dotting the ocean floor. Now picture that same scene, but with half the coral bleached white, the fish populations dwindling, and those spiky urchins gone. This isn't just a story about marine life, it's a haunting tale of ecological dominoes falling, and it's happening right now in our oceans. Let me take you through the mystery of why these long-spined black sea urchins vanished and what it means for the future of coral reefs. You know how sometimes you hear about the good old days when it comes to nature? Well, I've been diving for over 50 years, and I can tell you, those days were real. Back in the 70s and 80s, South Florida's reefs were like underwater rainforests. Think rainbow-colored parrotfish, towering staghorn corals, and those sea urchins, Diadema Antillarum, covering the seabed in a carpet of spines. But here's the kicker, we didn't realize how crucial those urchins were until they disappeared. And when they did, it wasn't just a nuisance gone, it was like the ocean lost its gardeners. What makes this really interesting is that their absence didn't just mean fewer spikes poking divers. It meant a silent war between algae and coral had already started. Let's rewind to 1983. If you were diving in the Caribbean or Florida back then, you might have noticed a strange haze in the sky. It wasn't just summer smog, it was massive dust clouds from the Sahara Desert. These weren't just clouds, they were loaded with iron, phosphorus, and, shockingly, pesticides from African locust control efforts. Now, here's where it gets wild. Scientists later linked this dust to the first major coral bleaching event. But the real twist? The dust also carried a hidden threat to the sea urchins. No one knew it at the time, but those spiky little creatures were about to become victims of a biological arms race. From my perspective, this wasn't just a natural disaster, it was a wake-up call about how interconnected our planet's systems are. A continent away, human activity was setting off a chain reaction in the ocean. Fast forward to 2023. The same scenario plays out again. Massive Saharan dust storms return, and suddenly, 95% of the Diadema population is dead within weeks. But this time, scientists found the culprit, a microscopic parasite called Philaster apodigitiformis. It's a ciliate, a single-celled organism that's basically a tiny, hair-covered predator. What's fascinating is how this parasite works. It doesn't just infect the urchins, it systematically dismantles them, starting with their spines. And when those spiky grazers vanish, algae takes over. It's like the ocean's version of a forest fire. Once the balance is broken, everything changes. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just about the urchins. It's about the entire reef ecosystem collapsing under the weight of unchecked algae growth. Coral can't compete with that, and suddenly, you've got a dead zone where life once thrived. Here's the deeper question, why did this happen twice? In 1983, we had no idea what was going on. Today, we've got advanced lab tech and global scientific collaboration, yet we're still playing catch-up. The 2023 die-off taught us something critical, even with modern tools, nature's complexity can outsmart us. The parasite was hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right conditions to strike. And if you take a step back, this isn't just about urchins or coral. It's a microcosm of how climate change, pollution, and invasive species are creating perfect storms for ecosystems worldwide. What this really suggests is that we're not just observers in this story, we're active participants, whether we like it or not. So, what's next? Scientists are racing to find solutions, from developing treatments for the urchins to restoring their populations. But here's the thing, you can't just sprinkle magic dust on a reef and expect it to heal. It's going to take decades of work, and even then, there's no guarantee. The real takeaway? The ocean isn't just a resource, it's a living, breathing system that reflects our choices. If we don't start treating it with the respect it deserves, we'll keep seeing these kinds of collapses. And the next time someone says, "You should have seen the reefs back in the day," maybe we'll finally understand why they're saying it.